Welcome to How to Survive with Danielle and Kristine, the show that teaches you how to survive the stuff that can kill you.
Like being robbed at gunpoint, or a shark attack, or a hotel fire.
And the stuff that just makes you wish you were dead.
Like tucking your skirt into your underwear, or insulting a baby, or working in a hotel. We should get the music going.
Yeah, let's get there. Oh,
I
jeez.
don't want to even think about it. Why are we so... It's always got to get to the music. Something's going on.
Ground is shaking under our feet. Mountains on fire, flooding in the street. Can't breathe the air, can't fight the feeling. Gobbling down Xanax ain't the way to be dealing. Gotta do better than just getting high. We gotta stick together if we're gonna survive. How to survive. How to survive.
Welcome to How to Survive with Danielle and Kristine. I am Danielle.
I'm Kristine.
So, Kristine, it's a countdown to my big
Procedure?
straws in my ears surgery. I hope they're, environmentally safe straws. I hope they're not plastic
let's do
straws.
Steel straws.
Steel straws.
You don't want those cardboard ones. You can't even get through an Arnold Palmer without those falling apart.
I use those at the movie theater we go to. They have them, and I'm okay with it.
I don't mind a little bit of a flopsy straw.
It's fiber.
Yeah, I'll take a little extra
paper.
cardboard. I need to be regular.
But I used a metal one the other day, and you can really taste the metal, so I'm not a fan of that either. But I mean, obviously I do. I'd rather do that than plastic.
Anything but plastic. We gotta stop using single-use plastics, people.
Come on. So
It's time.
for my surgery,
You're gonna go under.
Yeah, I am going under. And the place that I'm going, they also do plastic surgery. I know it sounds fucking crazy, but so...
We feel good about this place?
I mean,
Danielle?
it is where I got the previous procedure that didn't work so well. I mean, I did stop snoring, so I guess it worked.
It worked for Jimmy.
It worked for Jimmy. So on the prep sheet for the surgery, it says, wash your face and your hair with baby shampoo.
Yeah.
So I went in yesterday to get my COVID test at the doctor's office where I'm having this done. And I said to the woman, do I need to actually do that? And she was like, you can. I mean, it's good if you do, but you don't have to. I don't know what to do with answers like that.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
My whole life is, that's how I was raised. Like, I asked my mother, do you believe in God? And she said, I believe in something. I mean, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? It's like the opposite of my personality. I want an answer.
You like absolutes.
Even if she had said, I believe in I don't know. Just saying I believe in something is infuriating to a child, and especially a child
it's too
to
amorphous.
me. Yeah.
It's too many answers for a kid to manage.
I still can't manage it. But anyway, so I don't know if I'm supposed to wash my face with baby shampoo or not.
I mean, it could be anything then. It's like...
You can or you don't have to.
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, like, what if you do... What does it mean even?
I don't know. It was like something gentle. But like, I'm such a rule follower that I'm like, well, I guess I have to go buy baby shampoo now.
Yeah, like, why can't it just be whatever gentle cleanser you already use?
I don't know.
Do they think you usually wash your face with, like, bleach?
Yeah, maybe if I did that, I could hear. I've had proper working ears.
But also, I don't understand what that effect that has.
I don't know. I think it's for nose jobs. But I've had a nose job and I didn't have to do that. So I don't know. Yeah, it didn't take.
What do you mean it didn't take?
I mean, who would choose this? It's just...
You have a delightful, cute nose.
It's not great.
It matches your face.
Okay. Well,
I mean, it fits. It doesn't...
matches my face more than the old one did.
You had an old nose that was different?
Yeah. I know. Why would you pick this nose?
No,
I know.
I don't even mean that.
I said take a little off the top, and they didn't.
You think they didn't take enough, or they took too much?
Look,
your nose is perfect.
He took what I asked him to take, but if I had to do it over, because I was very conscious of like not having a nose job looking nose,
correct?
Because I can spot them a mile away. Like every Persian girl has the same nose job. I'm not Persian, but they probably started with a similar nose than I do. And whenever I see that scoop, I'm like, ugh, it doesn't match your face. It's so obviously it's a nose job. So yes, I had it. The bump taken. I had more of a bump.
Yes, I have that. I have that bump.
Okay, it was a little wider at the bottom, and it was a little more turned down. Like I had it like lifted a tiny bit.
Can you show me a picture sometime?
Sure.
I want to see.
Yeah, I don't hide it because I just don't care, I guess, anymore. But yes, I guess I got it before you. Yes, I got it before I met you.
You have. I think you have a beautiful nose.
Oh, I really, really hate it, but thank you. I hate it less than my old nose.
It's hard not to hate yourself in this world.
Yeah.
Yes, and especially in Los Angeles, I'm
But
assuming.
you know what's not easy? Further than that. Wait,
I'm going to transition.
I'm going to.
Can't wait to see this. Oh my God. You might want to stretch your hamstrings before you try this.
Hold on. Let me stretch this ACL a little bit. This is a little tight this morning. You know what's harder than what even we're talking about?
What?
Being in a hotel fire.
Oh my God.
And I'm going to give you guys some really good advice.
So how to survive being in a hotel fire?
Exactly. Are you ready to dive into this hot topic?
It is a hot topic.
It's burning you. Danielle, Garen?
Yes.
You're the Carrie Strug of podcasts.
Yeah, you've landed
Nailed it.
One leg.
Thank you. I always love to see the things that crack Garen up.
I know.
They're so unexpected. And
Yeah.
I just look over sometimes and he's just like giggling.
I know. It's just in a fit of giggles.
It makes me really happy.
Oh, my pleasure.
Fire safety starts the moment you enter your motel or hotel room.
Okay.
I hope for your sake it's a hotel.
Yeah, I mean, I've stayed in plenty of motels in my life.
There are nice ones. Here are some key precautions to take. This is from worstcasescenario.com, latimes.com, abcnews.go.com. I just like to give credit where credit is due.
I like it.
Check the hallway when you arrive.
Is this, no, I'm sorry, before
Yes.
you go on further, is this something you worry about as someone, when you travel, do you think about, because I know you're very conscientious of potential dangers.
Yes, I do these. I'm not going to say I do all the things on these
But you
lists.
think about danger in a hotel.
I do.
Okay.
I do some of these things, and
Great.
I'll let you know which ones I do as we go.
Okay.
Check the hallway when you arrive. As soon as you arrive in your room, check the floor plan on the back of the door that shows the location of the fire exits.
Ah.
I do this.
Smart.
Go out into the hallway and count the doors to the closest exits so you will be able to find them in the dark and smoke of a fire.
Okay.
I do this.
Great.
Leave your room key where you can find it. When you go to sleep, leave your room key on the bedside table so you can find it quickly.
Okay.
I don't do this, but I'm going to do it now. Locate your room's nearest fire alarms and fire extinguisher locations.
Wait, are there fire extinguishers in every room?
I think they mean in the hallways.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I don't do this, but I think it's a good idea, especially to know where a fire alarm is and a fire extinguisher. It's easy. You're already in the hallways anyway. You're walking down to dinner.
Yes.
It's not extra work for you.
Yeah, just
It's
glance.
Just be observant.
Right.
Check the LED light on your smoke detector to be sure it is working.
Okay.
I do that. I always do that. If you suspect a fire, call the hotel operator immediately. It seems like common sense.
Right.
Or call 911. Okay. Use the backside of your hand to check whether the door is hot. So this is in the case of, there's some reason for you to think there's a fire.
Right. You're not actually seeing flames, but perhaps you smell something or you're coughing or whatever.
And obviously, why not to use the front of your hand, because you don't want to burn the palms of your fingers. That's going to be a lot more painful.
Okay.
If the door is not warm, open it slowly.
Okay.
Be ready to slam it if a cloud of smoke rolls in.
But they're always on those slow
they're so
closes. So you're just like, wait a second, I almost got it. Okay. Don't open it wide.
No,
take too long.
Just a little couple inches. If the hallway is clear, make your way to the fire exit. Never use an elevator.
Okay.
If you leave, this is really important. I would never have thought of this. Take your key, but leave your belongings. Don't waste time picking up any belongings ever. If you leave the room, take your room key in case you have to return.
Okay.
If you get into a situation where the hallways are blocked, your room is going to be safer than the hallways. Your room is going to be the safest place to wait this out until help arrives. So you say you're trying to get out, but then you can't get out of the stairway.
Oh.
You don't have an exit.
Go back to your room.
You need to be able to get back into your room. You don't want to get locked out of your room.
I see. So, okay. You don't know what the situation is going to be, so take your key with you.
You don't know
now
yet.
I understand.
You don't know yet. Leave your belongings. Every second counts.
Okay.
This is another important tip. Stay low.
Okay.
If there's smoke in the corridor, stay low. So they did this live simulated fire at an abandoned hotel to kind of learn more about how fires work and how to safely evacuate a fire. They did some temperature checks. I thought this was really interesting. They showed that just outside the room where the fire was burning, the hallway was a safe 87 degrees near the floor.
Okay.
But at the top of the hallway, it was 137 degrees.
Oh my God.
Hot enough to induce third-degree burns down to the bone in just 5 seconds.
Whoa.
So I would say if you already know there's a fire, just crawl down on the floor to make your way to your exit, to your steps.
Heat rises, they always say that.
And you're going to have less smoke inhalation.
Right.
Here is what you're going to do.
I think I could do a fast belly crawl.
I could see you really...
I think I could shimmy across that carpet.
Have you thought about joining the military?
I've not.
Because, you know, they do those exercises under the barbed wire.
I've done that in a mud run.
You have?
Yes.
I bet you kicked
Where
ass.
you have to crawl under the barbed wire,
Yes.
basically. I did it. Yeah. It was fun. I liked it.
I think...
Haven't done it in a long time. Jimmy and
Wow.
I had a little while we were doing a couple of those. Not like insane Regan burn ones, just, you know, fun runs.
Your fun run phase.
Our fun run phase. Let's go on a fun run.
You guys were at your fun run phase of your relationship. Now you're not in a fun run.
No, we're in the non-fun run. It's more of a marathon.
Life is a marathon, not a race.
That's right.
Danielle. If the door or doorknob is
Not
hot,
a sprint. A marathon is still a race. Isn't
Thank
it?
you.
Is a marathon still a race? It is. Yeah, it's timed. Okay.
here's what you're going to do. If the door or doorknob is hot,
Towel.
do not open the door. Here are some steps you're going to take. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First, you're going to fill your bathtub with cold water.
Oh,
Soak your towels, washcloths, bed sheets, and blankets in the water.
okay.
If the water's off, use water from the toilet tank.
Okay.
Put a wet washcloth over your mouth. Hopefully you didn't have to use the toilet water.
Yeah.
But you know what? You want to live, right?
So be it.
Put it over your mouth and nose and a wet sheet or towel over your head. It's going to help with the smoke inhalation.
This is if you are. This is if the doorknob is hot.
Your doorknob's hot.
Okay.
You're not able to leave the room.
Got it.
Wedge wet towels in the crack under the door to keep the smoke out. I would also say any vents as well.
Okay.
Keep the smoke out.
Gotcha.
You can't see your way to... Okay. You're going to call 911.
Yes.
Stay near the window, but don't open it, and wait for help. Okay. Try calling the front desk or rooms on other floors to check on conditions in other areas. Make a tent of wet towels and sheets at the window. Do not build the tent if smoke is billowing into the room. Hold or attach one side of the towel or sheet to the window and allow the other side to fall behind you so you're protected from smoke and are breathing outside air. So this is saying you can open the window.
Okay.
I think it's just two different sources, and
Okay.
sometimes we get different information.
All right.
So get your little water wet tent.
Yeah. I like it.
I'm calling it that. The towel should help to cool the air and make it easier to breathe. So you're making yourself like a
So
little
smart.
cool igloo.
Yeah.
Signal rescue personnel with a white towel or a flashlight. Wait for the rescue. If the air in the room is getting worse, breathing becomes difficult, and no rescue is forthcoming, try to kick through the wall into the adjacent room. Here's where you're going to do that.
Okay.
Closets are the best location to try to break through.
Ah.
Sit on the floor of the closet and knock on the wall until you hear hollow sound. Wall studs are normally spaced 16 inches apart.
Okay.
So that way, that helps you to find that weakest
Okay.
part.
Yeah.
Use your feet to kick through the surfaces of the drywall. You may survive by using this as a breathing hole.
Oh.
So you might just be able to kick enough to be able to breathe better. I mean,
Okay.
you don't know what you're kicking into at this point.
So why would the room next door to you be safer than the room you're in?
You don't know if it is. It might
Okay.
be worse. But at this point, you're just like, hey,
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
this is filling up with smoke. I might as well see what's going on over there.
Yeah. Might as well kill those people.
Yeah.
They've been up all night watching loud movies.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
fuckers.
Kill them.
If you cannot breach the wall, go to a window and look at the outside of the building. If the rooms have balconies that are close together, consider climbing to another balcony on the same floor.
Okay.
I know, right? My nightmare too. If there are no neighboring balconies, you can tie bed sheets together and climb to a balcony directly beneath yours. Use square knots, the first step in tying your shoes done twice,
Okay.
and lower yourself one floor only.
I still use rabbit ears. Is that going to be a problem? I really do.
You do.
I don't know how to tie my shoes proper like.
Maybe that would be your step to take on just in life in general.
How to tie my shoes.
Consider this option only as a last resort, and only do it if you are attempting to escape an immediate danger or to reach rescue personnel. Okay.
Okay.
Here's some other tips.
Yeah.
If the door to your hotel is hot, use ice buckets to douse and cool it.
Yeah.
Place wet towels. Okay, I already talked about that. Hang a sheet from the window to alert rescuers where you are. Some of this is repeating just because I grabbed it from multiple sources. So I would say if you have plenty of water, right? If you just have your toilet water, you might not be wanting to waste it to do this because you might need it to keep your face covered. Now,
plus you might have other people with you.
Yeah, you can't just be using up all that water in your door. You might have 16 people in your room. You had a party that night.
Right.
You know, like one of those bachelorette parties, and you're all wearing the penis hats. And
maybe the penis hat can save you.
Yeah.
Dunk the penis hat in water.
Yeah, wear that.
Think about where you went wrong in your life that you're wearing a penis hat.
Maybe just spend that time doing that.
Just contemplate.
Is it like a wizard hat type of penis hat? Because then you don't need the tent. You can just...
Exactly.
Like elephant trunk it.
Use that penis hat. Elephant trunk it. Elephant trunk it.
Okay.
Here are some things to be aware of. Mm-hmm. Ladders on fire trucks usually reach only to the 7th floor of a high-rise building.
Okay.
Consider booking a room below this level.
Oh, okay.
Poolside or courtyard rooms are likely to be inaccessible to ladder trucks, even if they are below the 7th floor. Consider staying in a street side room.
No,
I know.
I don't want a view of the street.
I don't either.
I will burn to death before I have to look at a highway in the Midwest.
I mean, nobody wants that.
No
for
one
you.
wants that for me.
No, we want the best for you, but we also don't want you to burn in a fire.
But I could just dive into the pool if I have a poolside room.
That's true. That usually works out. Never jump from a height of more than 2 floors, or you risk death.
I don't think you had to tell me that. I don't think I'm jumping from a height of 1 floor.
Okay. But you know what?
No, you may have to.
A lot of people do, and that's how they end up dying. But it's like, well, they're the flames or the street.
Scary.
So I don't know. I don't want to burn up. I guess I'll just see how this works out.
Right.
I am going to expand the discussion.
Okay.
Because it's also good to be safe in a hotel, even when there's not a fire.
Sure.
So I'm going to give you guys some safety tips from a former intelligence officer. This is about how to just be safe in a hotel in general.
Okay.
Why not?
Sure.
This is what this guy says. He's a guy. Not all former intelligence officers are men, but this one happens to be.
Thank you for the caveat.
I just want to let you guys know.
Okay.
Step 1, book online. This saves you time when you arrive, and it also means you have to give less information over the counter where other people can hear.
Oh, okay.
So you're not just giving out your phone number and your address and all that stuff where just who knows who's lurking in the lobby, right?
Yes.
When checking in, this is what he says. I write down my name and phone number and hand it over with a printout of my reservation, a photocopy of my passport, and my credit card for them to swipe. A majority of the time, the hotel... What? Sorry. It just makes me laugh. A majority of the time, the hotel staff realize that I am security conscious, and they keep the conversation to a minimum.
Yeah, that's why they're keeping the conversation
and are careful not to reveal any personal information out loud.
It's not because you're a weirdo who comes in with
all these papers and just slides them over
Here's
in
my
silence.
Kinko's folder.
Exactly.
Jesus.
I printed everything.
Here's my birth certificate. Don't say a word.
I printed everything out. Don't say it out loud. Request a floor. I request a room between the 2nd and 4th floors, never the top floor, furthest away from the side of the lobby. The ground floor is too easy to access. The 2nd floor and above usually require your room's key card to access the floor, making it more secure. Also, he says as well, most fire trucks can reach up to the 2nd, 3rd, and even 4th floors. Never stay on the top floor, he says. This penthouse bullshit. Worst case scenario, your hotel is under attack. They're coming up from the ground floor through the stairwells. You are on the top floor. Where do you go? You can't go up. Now imagine the same scenario, but you are on the 3rd floor in a 20-story hotel. You now have a lot of room to maneuver and hide.
This guy at the Hotel Rwanda?
I mean,
What the fuck?
I think he might be.
Is he staying? That he's okay.
You don't know what's going to happen. In other countries, people get kidnapped and held for ransom. I think he's thinking of these very Jason Bourne scenarios that oftentimes we get in our lives.
Sure.
Request a map. Before you leave reception, ask for a local street map and ask them to mark where the hotel is for you. Again, if there's some kind of emergency situation, you don't have your phone.
Right.
Be cautious. After check-in, I go directly to the elevator. Sometimes, depending on where I am, if someone is behind me, I open my laptop bag as if I'm searching for something and let them go ahead of me. I mean, this is all also...
This guy is super paranoid.
But it also feels like tips for when you're a woman traveling alone.
Or when you're a spy.
Yeah, I mean, he's a security expert.
Right.
Other times, I will see if I can go to the floor above instead of the floor I am checked in on. Again, worst case scenario. If you are being followed, especially for solo female travelers, your would-be stalker/attacker now thinks they know what floor you are on.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, I
like
think
that.
definitely...
That's really smart.
As a woman who's traveled alone, like, I don't want people to know which room I'm in.
No, that's really smart.
So that kind of stuff I think is fine, where you're just like, I'm going to wait and not get off here and just kind of... Do not disturb. This is a good tip, I think. As soon as I walk into my room, I put the TV on low, usually on CNN. I mean, I'd probably have it on MSNBC or just Friends.
Why does he need to have it on CNN?
I guess that's the show he likes.
Okay.
And leave it on. I put the do not disturb sign on the door, and then I leave the room. I walk the floor. I find the fire escape plan and I follow it. Don't just assume that because there is a fire escape plan on the wall that all of the exits will be clear, especially in third world countries. Know your exits.
Okay.
Typically in larger hotels, there will be escape routes at either end of the floor. Walk both. This is really interesting, and I'm going to talk about one of these fires later, but there was this big hotel fire, and people did go down an emergency exit, and there was like a concrete wall that had blocked it. And
my God.
The firemen did end up busting it out, but some people were like, don't even use it because it's blocked. And people died.
This is clearly in another country.
No.
What?
Here. Vegas, in the 80s. So
oh my God.
He is smart to say, check the fire escape. Don't assume that when you see it, you go, oh, well, we're right next to this fire escape, so we're fine.
Jesus.
Walk down it, because they'll store, sometimes they'll just use it for storage.
Right.
It's better to just know that
they'll store a brick wall there is what they'll do.
Sometimes they'll store a brick wall there.
Jesus. That is that's a violation.
Oh, it was a violation.
Of course.
And it changed safety laws.
I bet.
Learn where each stairwell exists. Does it lead into the hotel lobby or onto the street? Are any of the doors locked or chained? Is there lighting? Oh, so he's also saying not just for that you can escape if there's a fire or an emergency, but can people just walk in? Mm-hmm. Like, do they lock? Are they secure? Right. So, you think, oh, I'm in a hotel, I'm safe. And then any willy-nilly yoo-hoo,
willy-nilly yoo-hoo,
can walk in and come and murder you. Door stops. When I go back to my room, I leave the do not disturb sign on the door, usually for my entire stay. Mm-hmm. I also carry 2 door stops with me. When I'm in the room, I use one for the main door, as it is added security, especially in third world countries where locks are not the strongest.
Okay.
If your room has a conjoining door, wedge it closed with the second door stop.
Gotcha.
I then place a piece of tape over the peephole, and I place a flashlight next to my bed. I carry a...
Sounds like a great vacation.
I know, this guy's like, everyone's coming
this is how I go to relax.
Everyone's coming to kill me.
Yeah.
I carry a 1,000 lumen LED flashlight for 2 reasons. Firstly, they illuminate an area from night to day. And secondly, they are incredibly effective at temporarily blinding a would-be attacker, giving you a chance to escape. I mean, thirdly, as we learned in the tsunami episode, if you're in a place where a disaster happens and all the power goes out, it's good to have a flashlight.
Yes. Also, you can beat the person with it.
I mean, if you have a heavy enough flashlight, beat them, yes.
Poor lady just coming in and leave a mint on the pillow, and the guy blinds her.
And murders her.
Murders her.
Hotel safe. I never use the hotel safe.
Oh.
They're incredibly easy to break into, and if a hotel room is ever robbed, they're usually the first thing that is targeted. Also, never leave your passport or money under your mattress. It's usually the second place that thieves search in a hotel.
Can I just tell you something I just remembered?
Yes.
I went on an uncharacteristic girls' trip to Vegas
Yes.
once. And there were a bunch of us staying in a room. I guess it was like a suite. I mean, it wasn't super fancy, but it was just, enough to keep us all in there. And we were robbed
Oh,
in the
wow.
middle of the night.
Wow. While you were in the room.
Yes. We were
That's
all
so
asleep.
scary.
And I think my purse was taken or my wallet. And some people had put stuff in the safe. And they were fine, of course, because it was in the safe. I'm not sure why he says that thing about the safe, but I mean,
Probably when
obviously
people are
this
out
was
of
a
the
quick
room.
job, right?
Yeah.
So they just took what they could and left. And I guess what happened was someone just didn't completely close the door.
Okay.
But we did get a free brunch.
Oh,
So
that's fine.
That's what they gave us
I
to
mean-
make up for the fact that we were robbed, probably by an employee.
Thank you for these cardboard eggs.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, I just remembered that I was robbed in a hotel.
Well, fuck you, Vegas.
I know.
Fuck you very much. When leaving the hotel, be prepared. Walk out the front door with confidence that you know where you are going. There's nothing worse than watching someone leave the hotel lobby and look absolutely lost the moment they leave the doors. It makes you a target. Do your best to blend in.
Okay.
Don't
That makes
stand
sense.
there with your map
Yeah.
and your fanny
Well, this
pack.
guy's already memorized the maps. He doesn't need to look at anything.
This guy's walking out, I feel like, and he's got like a Glock.
Yeah.
And he's got his shirt tucked in so you can see the Glock.
And he has special eyes that show him that have a readout like the Terminator.
Totally.
Where there's contact lenses he put in, so he can read information about everyone and everything.
And the Mission Impossible music is always playing.
Yeah. And he's swiping like
Minority Report.
Minority Report. Yeah. Yeah.
This guy is a movie.
Yeah.
While this hotel safety checklist cannot guarantee absolute safety when you travel, it can reduce your chances of an incident happening or you having fun. I'd like to share a hotel fire story with you.
Let's do it.
This is from the LA Times. And have you heard of the MGM Grand Fire?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so this is, I think, the second worst hotel fire disaster in the history of the United States.
Okay.
On the morning of November 21st, 1980, the sound of sirens stirred Raphael Patino from bed. Usually when you hear sirens, they come and they go, he said, but these were coming and staying. When he looked out the window of his 16th floor room, he realized that the Las Vegas MGM Grand Hotel was on fire. I woke up my wife and we got dressed to leave, said Patino, an Irvine sales executive. But when we walked out of the room, we couldn't see anything. The hall was pitch black with smoke. My wife and I lost each other for a minute in the dark. I called to her and she found me and we went back into our room. Fortunately, Patino had brought his room key with him. Many victims, as their doors slammed behind them, discovered that they had locked themselves out of their only refuge. 10 years later, he still has room key 1675, a memento that possibly saved his life.
Wow.
85 people, 10 from Southern California, died in the fire that turned the opulent high-rise resort into a suffocating chimney. The second most deadly hotel fire in U.S. history, after a 1946 Atlanta blaze that claimed 119 lives. The MGM Grand Fire would leave a lasting mark on both the survivors and on American building safety standards. Today, fire codes throughout the country are much stricter because of the MGM Grand tragedy. In 1980, many high-rises were not equipped with smoke detectors, much less sprinkler systems.
Jesus.
The years after the disaster, both the Nevada and California legislators beefed up state fire ordinances. So this was a big game changer as far as those laws go. Among those survivors were employees and spouses of Printronix, an Irvine-based computer firm that had sent 26 people to a trade show at the MGM Grand. Raphael Patino and his wife were among that group. A Printronix manager and his bride, who had called the Las Vegas excursion their honeymoon, died in the fire. The night before the fire, at the 2,076-room, 26th-floor hotel, a group of Printronix employees and spouses went to a late show starring singer Mac Davis.
Okay.
Mac Davis, like I forgot that person existed.
Yeah, that's a name I just know. I don't really know who it is.
I feel like he was a singer or a football player, and I just
I'm
feel
guessing
like
he wasn't a football player if he was putting on a show.
but that he was also maybe in a lot of, I feel like
he was a singer.
commercials. I don't know. I can picture what he looks like from my childhood, but that's it.
Okay.
Then they visited the MGM's Grand Lavish Casino. I'm having a hard time speaking today. While the hotel guests pulled slot machines and played blackjack, an electrical wire shorted in the nearby delicatessen. For hours, a small fire smoldered unnoticed inside the wall and ceiling cavity. About 7 a.m., a ferocious blaze suddenly burst into the kitchen and literally chased waitresses and breakfast customers out of the deli. When firefighters arrived a few minutes later, flames already were rocketing through the 50,000 square foot casino, consuming its plastic decor at an unstoppable pace. The fire traveled at 17 feet per second.
Oh my God.
Recalled Clark County Fire Chief Roy L. Parrish. 4 minutes after it exited the deli, it hit the lobby's front doors and blew out their glass.
Whoa.
It's amazing how fast.
Whoa, 4 minutes.
Yeah. Firefighters managed to keep the flames to the first 2 levels, but the fire's lethal byproducts, smoke and carbon monoxide, drifted up the elevator shafts and air conditioning ducts. While a war raged below, all was quiet on the upper floors. Guests peacefully slept through the commotion, their rooms unguarded by smoke alarms.
Oh my God.
About 8 a.m., they gradually began to awake to the faraway sound of sirens or screams. Trapped inside their room, Raphael and Luz Patino assumed that they would die. We prayed and prepared ourselves for death. Then we started talking about our kids and wondering what would happen to them. The couple, then in their 30s, had a 6-year-old daughter and a 10-year-old son at home in Irvine. Thinking about their children galvanized the Patinos to fight for their lives. We wanted to be there for them. Wait a minute, we are not going to give up, he recalled. They stuffed towels under their door and over vents to block the smoke that started to pour in. They moved furniture and flammables to one corner.
Wow.
Then they yanked off the curtains and discovered a balcony. The air outside was much better than inside. A lot of glass was coming down as window panes were broken by hotel guests above them. So we took one of the drapes and made a tent and covered ourselves. Just like the stuff in the safety tips. Some of our friends down on the street were waving to us and telling us to stay calm.
So they're on the balcony, but they've got the curtains over them. Brilliant.
To protect themselves from the glass. There they remained for 2 hours, embracing one another and exchanging words of love. About 10 a.m., rescue workers began banging on 16th floor doors and guiding people to a stairwell. Up until that point, I guess I had to think I was in control, Joe Campanella remembered. But as soon as the firemen told us, "You're okay now, you can go down," my knees just turned to jelly and I started crying. At some point after the Patinos had left room 1675, 50-year-old Sarah Gallico, a Mexican national visiting Las Vegas on holiday, stumbled through the open door and died next to Mrs. Patino's trade show name tag. Luz Patino heard on television the startling news that she was a fire victim. We were at the Hilton in Las Vegas that evening watching TV, and they listed my wife as a fatality, Raphael Patino said. It was broadcast all over the country. They had not been able to contact their children and other family members, so their loved ones also heard the report.
This is a nightmare.
I called my brother in Arizona to let him know that my wife was not one of the victims, Raphael Patino said. Initially, his brothers, thinking that Raphael was in shock, did not believe him.
Right.
He said, "But I heard it on the news." Only 3 months after the disaster, a fire at the Las Vegas Hilton took 8 lives. The Nevada legislature moved quickly. As a result of those 2 fires, the state passed a fire code law in 1981 that put Nevada in the forefront of fire safety, Nevada State Fire Marshal Rex Jordan said. To this day, the Printronics salespeople who survived the fire request lower-level hotel rooms when they travel.
They what?
I'll just read it again.
Yeah.
To this day, the Printronics salespeople who survived the fire request lower-level hotel rooms when they travel.
Oh, God. That is horrifying. And it all started in the kitchen.
Yeah. Just a little tiny fire.
Oh, my God.
But most of those people, I think it was almost 3/4 died from the inhalation of smoke.
Oh, but see, yeah, if that had happened now, most likely the sprinklers would have stopped it in its tracks and the smoke alarms and everything.
Yeah.
They would have evacuated people. Oh, gewalt.
But it's because of that fire that we have such strict.
Well, thank you, MGM Fire, for...
I know. I'm so sad about all these people.
So you're saying don't stay in a hotel ever? Is that what
I think what we're supposed to learn from this is don't leave your house.
Right.
Listen to podcasts.
Yes.
And
avoid the world.
Just take up needlepoint.
Okay.
No.
Don't stick yourself with the needles.
Oh, yeah. Don't do that then. Listen to podcasts, watch shows. No, go out and live life.
Live life.
You can do all of this safely.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. That was fascinating, scary, but also made me aware of things I can do when I next stay in a hotel, whenever that may be.
I hope it's soon for you because I think you should get out there.
Thanks. I'm going to try. All right. Well, we will be right back with our very special guest.
I'm excited. Welcome back to How to Survive with Danielle and Kristine. Danielle.
Kristine.
Hey, how was your break?
I know, it's Jimmy's favorite part of the show, we just learned. My break was fine. I don't think I did anything. I put on some chapstick.
We gossiped a little bit.
We did gossip a little bit, yeah. Nothing fun for the outsider, but yeah.
Fun for us.
Fun for us.
Speaking of fun.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited because we have with us Mitch Silpa.
Hilarious.
Who you have seen in a million things. You've seen him in Bridesmaids.
Classic.
And he's a groundling. And what is the name of your show that you do with Drew?
It's called It's Mitch and Drew, and We've Never Looked Younger. Oh, we've never felt younger.
So you don't even know the name of it.
It's because we're older. It's Mitch and Drew, and We've Never Felt younger.
And it's Doge. Is that
Drogi?
Dogecoin?
Very close. Drew Dogecoin.
Dogecoin.
Yeah, Drew Dogecoin.
Drogi. And tell me the names of the characters that the two old queens who just have a minute to catch up.
Yeah,
is that what it's called?
It's close.
Okay.
Our titles are terrible.
I love the titles.
Two old queens who've just a minute to catch up. The character. You want the character names?
Sure.
Dale and Morton. I'm so glad I remember.
They're the funniest things ever. I will be at my computer on Facebook. These pop up. I love them more than life itself. They're just a couple of minutes of these two old gay guys who are catching up on the phone. They just reference old people all the time.
Yeah.
Reference old movie stars.
Yeah. Yeah, they always have a different reason why they have to get off the phone.
And tell us the reason, some of the reasons.
Well, some of my reasons are always darker, but I say them lightly.
Yeah.
And they're like not serious, but he says it like a panic. Like he's putting together something for a magazine or he's waiting for some butter delivery. And mine is like, my niece, a cat is stealing my niece's breath or my balcony's collapsing. Like some serious reason, but I say it like it's delightful.
Is it? I have always wanted to ask you this, and I haven't. Is it improvised?
Well,
to an extent.
Well, I shoot my stuff. This all happened because remember when we were all staying at home?
Yes.
And so I shot my stuff at home, and he shot his stuff at home, and he sent it to me, and I just edit it. So he writes down like exactly what he's going to say. I sort of know what I'm going to say, but then I improvise it and pick.
So you don't know what each other is going to say?
No, and often I now have to wait to get his before I do mine because there's been a couple times where we've
referenced
the same celebrity.
Oh my God,
that's funny.
How many Suzanne Summers jokes can you have?
We haven't had a Suzanne.
You
Summers.
haven't?
No.
That is shocking.
Well, we're waiting.
I'll try to do it next time. I'll try to get.
Oh my God.
I know we haven't even had a Joyce DeWitt one.
Well, Jimmy constantly references Joyce DeWitt, so I don't know why I just assumed you would reference Joyce DeWitt.
I think I've tried.
She doesn't make it.
No, I actually did. I think I had one that I didn't get in about her falling into. Joyce DeWitt fell into a volcano on Fantasy Island or something like that.
Like all the things they're gossiping about are just complete nonsense. Please look it up.
But some
it's
of it,
so
I
funny.
will say,
yeah.
Every once in a while, we'll say something that we actually mean.
I figured. Yeah.
We'll sneak it in.
Oh, tell me one. Can you tell me one?
He said one about, I hope I'm not ruining it, about Frank Langella.
Yeah.
And he said, is Frank Langella ever happy? Because he just seems like he's miserable. And I think, I said one about Betty Buckley. Because Betty Buckley, Drew met Betty Buckley. I'm ruining a story. He did meet Betty Buckley at a group thing, and she ruined an ending of a play. She's like, this play, and he was about to see it the next day, and she's like, at the end, and she ruined. So I just said, Betty Buckley ruins endings. But she really did.
But it'll be like Jerry Orbach can't eat pickles.
Yeah, or
like it's just
Suzanne
so
Plachette loves buttons.
Yeah, it's just complete nonsense, but it's so fucking funny, and they're so serious about it. And then, I've got to go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my favorite thing. But they do a 2-person show together that's those characters, but other characters. It's just brilliant. It's a 2-person sketch.
Oh, thanks.
Oliver and I went to go see it. It was one of the few things we did during the pandemic. And
where can we see it?
do you have any upcoming shows?
We don't, but hopefully Drew is out of town. But we've
Drew
done
what?
it. He's out of town right now.
Oh, okay.
But we've done it twice at the Dynasty Typewriter.
Okay.
Yes, that's where I
I
saw
love
it.
doing stuff there.
Yeah, it's a fun.
It's really
venue.
nice, yeah.
Please book one so we can tell our audience.
Yeah. It's
to
really
come see you guys.
Really funny, really dark stuff. Not all of it's dark, but it's just super funny.
Yeah, it's really fun. We were nervous the first time we did because we hadn't done a live show.
I bet.
That was written in London. We're like, and we also, except for the Two Old Queens thing, was all untested.
Yes.
So like, this could all, we think it's funny, but it could not be.
Is Drew also a Groundling? Is that how you know each other?
We met at the Groundlings when
Okay.
we were like students. I was just a little ahead of him. But
Okay.
Drew had been in the Sunday Company.
Okay.
But we've been friends for like 20 years.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So, Mitch, in the first half, we were talking about how to survive a hotel fire, and now we're going to talk about how to survive working at a hotel.
Okay.
So, what's your story?
Well, how weird. How did you know that I worked at a hotel?
Yeah, during the break, he was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I can't believe you talked about being at a hotel because that's what my story is. We're like, that's the premise of the show, Mitch. That's why I asked you ahead of time what your story was.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for listening.
I thought this was magic that I was experiencing. In the 90s, I worked at a hotel when I got out of college it was called the Hotel Nico. Now it's SLS. Do you know where that is on La Cienega?
Yes.
Okay. It was the Hotel
I don't
Nico.
think so. La Cienega and what?
Like near Beverly.
Okay, like near the Beverly Center?
Yes.
Okay.
Like a few blocks south.
Okay.
That would be south. It was the full
I know what it
title.
is.
It was the full title of that hotel was the Hotel Nico at Beverly Hills.
Oh,
because they couldn't say in Beverly Hills.
Oh.
Because I learned when I was there the borderline of Beverly Hills and Los Angeles goes through La Cienega, and it went through the hotel. So part of the hotel was actually in Beverly Hills.
Oh, that's hysterical.
And some was not. Isn't that weird?
That's very weird.
They lost it on a
So-
technicality.
They lost
Yeah,
it, but they said
partially in Beverly Hills.
that would have been a horror.
That would be-
Hotel Nico partially.
Partially in Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills adjacent.
Yeah.
So I worked there for 7 years.
You were a what?
A bunch of stuff. I was a doorman. I was a bellman. I answered phones, which was called a PBX operator.
Why? What does PBX stand for?
Isn't that their
No.
system?
Public Broadcasting X.
No.
Okay,
But
no.
It's their system. But
It's their system.
I don't think it's public broadcasting.
Okay, no.
And then I worked at the front desk, which I mostly did.
Okay.
So I did a little bit of everything. I hated it all. I hated
Was it awful?
Yes, because this is not what I wanted to do.
No. All right,
It
so
felt
set the scene for this story.
Okay, so I was a bellman, and I was working. I was working with this guy Joseph, and so when you're a bellman, you're like, if a guest needs you to take their luggage up, and then I do that one, and then Joseph would do the other one. You'd switch.
Okay.
So I had just done one, and Hugh Grant checked in.
Whoa.
And this is 90s Hugh
This
Grant.
is like prime.
Hot, floppy
Notting
hair.
Hill.
This is pre-Notting Hill.
Whoa.
This is pre-Notting Hill. So Hugh Grant checked in. My heart's beating
Like
remembering
he's so
this.
was he so cute
He
and
was so cute.
Yeah, floppy hair, stutter,
British accent.
cute.
So
Yeah.
he checks in. This is before Four Weddings and a Funeral.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's what really made him a big star.
Yeah,
And
but you knew who he was
I
already.
knew who he
He's
was.
known for what's he done? Like Sirens? Is he in Sirens? What's he done?
Was it
prior to that,
9 months?
Yeah.
not
That was later.
Later?
He had done like British stuff. Like remember that movie Maurice? Maurice, that was the Ian Forster movie. Well, you're not a gay man.
No,
but it's,
I'm very close though. Have you met my mother? I'm a child of a gay man.
Congratulations. But
I don't
Maurice-
remember that one, but I've seen all the other Ian Forster movies.
It's his. Ian Forster was gay, and it's a pivotal novel because it's a gay romance.
Okay.
And it was made into a film. It was an indie film, and it was him. And I cannot remember.
Do you see Naked Tush?
I don't remember that, but I do. You know, Call Me by Your Name. They duplicate a shot that when they first kissed, which is a kind of throwback to Morris. Which
okay.
You know, but he was like, I didn't even know he was gay, and he was just in. Remains of the Day had just come out.
Okay.
And he had a part in it.
Okay.
So I said to Joseph, do you mind? I'll give you the next two. If this is a British guy, Joseph didn't care. And he was straight. He's like, but very much of an ally. But he's like,
he's an ally that he's going to let you take the bet.
He's like, the bet.
Yeah.
So I took Hugh Grant up to his room, and I was like in the bell car just making like small talk with him. And he couldn't have been like nicer. He was so nice, and like none of this like surliness that you hear as his reputation. But he was
because didn't Jon Stewart call him the worst guest that was ever
right.
on The Daily Show? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I still loved
But he was adorable. Okay.
Yeah, and I like showed him the room. I'm like, this is this. I'm doing my job. But the whole time I'm thinking, I have to say something.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'll feel like an idiot. I'm like, I just wanted to tell him I know who he was.
Yeah.
So as I'm leaving the room, I'm like, I just saw Remains of the Day, and I loved it so much, which I did. And he was like, he's like so friendly, so like I don't think he was recognized at all.
Right, because he wasn't super famous.
People didn't know who he was yet.
He seems so appreciative. He's like, thank you so much. I'm not going to do his accent, but like, but he's like, thank you. He loved the movie, and so it's like that was wonderful. Later that day, I'm at the bell stand. He walks by, and we have to say good evening or whatever. So I say good evening. He stopped. And he was like, oh, hello, and he's good evening, and he's engaged me in a conversation. It was too much.
Yes.
I couldn't handle it.
Right.
Like, because I'm so attracted to him, and I'm also like, what's happening? Is this happening?
Right.
Yes.
And does he maybe love me? Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
All these thoughts.
So did he play a gay character in Morris?
Yes.
Okay.
Full on gay.
So did you think maybe he was gay?
Absolutely.
He's
And it's
British.
It's confusing.
Yeah, right.
So
it's always a fine line.
Yeah.
British or gay.
British or gay. It's a whole game show.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So the next day I'm working, and I'm at the bell stand. This beautiful woman walks in, gorgeous, walks up to the front desk and says to the front desk, I hear, there's a key waiting for me from Mr. Grant's room.
Okay.
So there's a key there, and there's a name. She says the name's Hurley. So it's Elizabeth Hurley.
Oh my
Holy
gosh.
shit.
So she's gorgeous. So she gets the key. So I'm like, well, maybe
maybe it's not going to happen.
I don't know.
It's probably a sister.
She was like, it's unbelievably.
So you
gorgeous.
didn't know who she was at this point. You just knew she was gorgeous and British
Gorgeous.
and okay.
Had the key to his room.
Right.
Later that day, the concierge says there's like a vase of flowers to be delivered to Mr. Grant's room.
Okay.
So, per procedure, I call the room. There's no answer. And they said to deliver it and just put it in his room. So I go up to his room. I knock on the door. I'm like, Bellman. There's no answer. Knock again. Bellman. No answer. So I did 3 times. No answer. This is why you should always double lock your door.
Oh no.
So I opened up the door.
Hotel safety.
Hotel safety. I walked into the room with this vase of flowers. I walk in the room, I take a couple steps. I hear Hugh Grant
Oh no.
Oh my god.
like singing in the shower. This is so embarrassing. I look over. Elizabeth Hurley is sleeping naked
oh my
on
god.
the bed. I mean, like
God.
the sheets up to like her breasts are up.
I bet they were amazing. Not that
They were stunning.
I bet
yes.
they were
I mean-
the best, most beautiful breasts ever.
Yes, they were
Yes,
like
of course.
gorgeous, but like I'm like it's like like Laverne and Shirley. How do I get out of this? I'm holding this huge glass vase.
Did you try
of
to hide
beautiful-
behind the flowers like you were?
No, but I have, and this all happened like in my brain. I have a decision to make.
Right.
I can either take a couple steps, and by the way, this door is not quiet.
Oh.
I can
And
take
it's heavy, like those slow
Yes.
closing doors, Danielle.
All right.
I can either take a couple steps back and leave, or there's a table. I can risk it. Take a couple steps, like ding, 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 put it quietly, and then leave. So I opt for putting it on the table because I don't want to have to explain
You
this
want to do this
anybody.
again.
You're
Right.
so brave.
I'd have to come back and explain to the concierge what happened, and I'm like, I don't know if I violated something.
Right.
So I take I'm so like I can't breathe. I'm like step quietly. I put it on the table. So I'm so terrified. She's going to wake up. Can you imagine?
Oh my God.
Can you imagine waking up and there's a bellman and you're naked with your beautiful breasts? So I put it on
And then
the
it becomes like the scene in Austin Powers where everything is blocking her breasts.
Right.
Remember? She's in it.
Who knows? Maybe this was the inspiration.
This was the
for it.
inspiration.
So I put the vase down. It didn't make. She didn't wake up. I'm like tiptoeing out. He's still singing in the shower. By the way, Hugh Grant, I guess, sings in the shower.
Does he stutter when he sings?
No.
No stammering. No stammering. No,
But this is also before I knew he was famous for stammering.
Right.
I don't remember him stammering in Maurice or stammering in Remains of the Day. Then I walk out quietly. I open the door so quietly. I close it so quietly. I got away and I fucking tore down that hallway with the helicopter. And I'm like, I couldn't get on that elevator quick. I'm so scared. She's going to wake up. And like, what happened? But I get back. I didn't want to see them anymore. But later that night, because like, I guess like if you woke up or like you're like, and you even notice the flowers.
That's what I was thinking too. They're going to be like, how did these flowers, when did they show up?
Or not.
Right.
Because you can also go, oh, maybe we didn't notice them earlier. Because there's other things in the room. Like there's other, like,
plants
and things. But they may have not have even noticed it or thought, yeah, this was earlier. But I do remember that night they came through the lobby and I didn't want them to talk to me. But he was very like, oh, hello.
Oh, no.
And may have introduced me to Elizabeth Hurley, but I don't know if that's true. That might be my
Yeah.
memory.
Then you're like humming the song he was singing in the shower.
I wish I knew what the song was. It might have just been a generic hum.
Yeah.
This might just be my, I might be wrong about this, but Elizabeth Hurley gives me the impression that she has so much sexual confidence that you could have walked in and she would have been like fully riding Hugh Grant and you'd have the flowers and she'd
leave
be like,
it on the table.
Put it right there. Hello.
No, I had the exact same thought. I was like, there's no way to embarrass this woman. She's so gorgeous. We're talking prime Elizabeth Hurley.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you walked in while she was just standing full buck naked, she would have been like, oh, thank you.
Here's another theory I have not thought of.
Okay.
Because I did knock on the door 3 times.
Right.
Unless she just... I'm assuming the scenario was they just had sex.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he went and take a shower and she fell asleep.
Right.
But maybe she heard the knock on the door and just like, I don't feel like responding.
Yeah.
And then the door opens and she's like, I'm going to pretend to be asleep. That could have been a scenario.
Now, now, I'm sure in the hotel business, they have etiquette for do you come in or not? Like you didn't know it?
Etiquette for...
Like you knock on the door, there's no response. You're supposed to open the door?
Yes, that's my memory of...
That seems weird.
Sure. But sometimes you're told to put something in the room that needs to be put in the room, and you knock like a few times, and if there's no answer...
You still go in.
You can go in. I mean, everybody has the key to your room. Like
I
everybody
guess.
who works there
I never
has
thought about that.
Yeah, the housekeeping has the key to your room. The front desk has the key to your room. Security has the key to your room. Double lock the door.
Yeah.
Double lock it.
Double lock that
Put
door.
a do not disturb sign on the door?
Yeah, we put a do not disturb. You're not supposed to disturb, but they did not have a do not disturb.
Because they don't mind if people
they're
walk
like,
in
come
when
in
they're
and see
having
our
sex.
beautiful bodies.
Beautiful people like that are like, come see it.
I don't know if I want to see him naked, but I'd want to see her naked.
Well, you don't want to see him naked at that time.
He's so pale. He's adorable.
So
I think he's
beautiful.
really cute, but I'm not like into, I don't want to see his pale British body.
I could deal with that.
Well, Mitch, thank you so much for being here. This was so fun. I want to
you.
hear more stories about the hotel.
It opened up a can of worms for me because I'm like, this should be a show. I have so many
You should.
stories. Because I told you you heard the one about
Yes. What was
Brenda
it?
Vaccaro?
Yes. You said it. Where?
It was during Easter. It was
Yeah.
at the hotel. They
Oh, you
made
had
me
to dress up as a
the
bunny.
Easter bunny.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And wave at people at the brunch.
And Brenda Vaccaro refused to wave
would
it.
not wave at
Wait,
me.
who was she sitting with again?
She was sitting with our general manager and Jessica Walter.
Jessica Walter.
Jessica Walter
Wow.
waved at me. Brenda
course she
Vaccaro
did.
would not wave at me.
She refused.
I made her.
It's so funny.
I was obnoxious.
I love that. Brenda Vaccaro.
She's
It's
just like, no.
I'm Brenda
that's a-
Vaccaro. I don't have to
I don't
wave
have to
at
wave
you.
at you, bunny.
That's maybe a too old queen. Brenda Vaccaro would never wave.
At a bunny, at an Easter bunny. She thinks she's above Easter bunnies.
I don't blame her, actually.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
probably
really. When you
obnoxious.
think about it,
She's like,
as an
I'm
adult,
at a point in my career where I do not have to wave.
As an adult, where I don't have to
Oscar
wave.
nominated. Why would she have to be
No.
waving at a bunny?
Thank you so much, Mitch,
Oh,
for
my
coming
pleasure.
on. This
My
was
pleasure.
So
awesome. And we will be right back with what we learned today.
Danielle,
Kristine,
are you ready to learn what we learned today?
so am.
Breaking or opening windows allows the fire to gain more access to oxygen, which helps the fire grow, which would greatly decrease your chances of escape. By keeping the windows closed, you are
Right.
starving the fire as much as possible.
Right, that's what okay. Yeah.
Never use an elevator.
Ever.
Always
Use
take
the
your-
stairs. Always take the stairs.
Always take the stairs.
Yeah.
I mean, there are many reasons to take the stairs. When going to a hotel, pretend you're a spy. It'll be safe and fun. Mm-hmm. Mac Davis was an American country music singer, songwriter, and actor. A native of Lubbock, Texas, he enjoyed success as a crossover artist, and during his early career, he wrote for Elvis Presley, providing him with his hits Memories, In the Ghetto, Don't Cry Daddy, and A Little Less Conversation.
Oh, that's a fantastic song.
A subsequent solo career in the 1970s produced hits such as Baby Don't Get Hooked on Me. Davis also starred in his own variety show, a Broadway musical, and various films and TV shows.
What have you done lately?
I mean, not enough, clearly.
Like, this guy's
I got to get busy.
impressive.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, is that it? That's all we learned today?
You know what?
Okay.
I can't jam. Garen, thank you for putting this together
Thanks,
for us.
Garen.
My pleasure.
We can't jam it all in your
No.
faces at once. We don't, in your ear holes. We don't want you to be overwhelmed with knowledge. We just want to give it to you in bits and bites.
That's right. And as always, remain calm.
Hey, everybody. We'd love to hear from you on the social media at Pod How to Survive on Twitter and Instagram. And also, you can send us an email, podcasthowtosurvive@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your survival stories or just say hello. All right. Talk to you later.